Hey, what's up, everyone? Michael St. Anthony here again. Thank you for tuning into my channel. I hope everyone had a wonderful week, and I hope everyone is writing, being productive, getting words on the pages, and just trying to knock out the book. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about 5 things I wish I knew before I started self-publishing on KDP. All right. Now, before I started self-publishing on KDP, there were a few things I wish I knew beforehand, before I started launching books. I was surprised at some of the things I found out during self-publishing my books. But, I have learned a lot, and I really do appreciate everything I've learned and everything I've seen. And I am striving to be a better indie author day by day, and as I'm sure you guys are. So without further ado, let's discuss the 5 things that I wish I knew before I started self-publishing on KDP. The first thing, you need to manage your time wisely, okay? I did not manage my time wisely. I would write sporadically. I wasn't consistent with my writing. I would write one day out the week, but I noticed it was taking longer for my book to get finished. I was taking longer to write my book when I was writing sporadically, when I didn't have a set schedule. So what I did, I started setting a schedule. I started writing early in the morning before I go to the gym around 3 a.m. and I stuck with it for 5 days. Okay. So around 2 in the morning, I usually go to the gym at 4. I start writing as many words as possible. And, I have to do that before I go to the gym and go to work, because I'm not going to have too much time after work. So waking up early and starting writing, just managing my time better. That's one thing I wish I knew beforehand. I would have written my first book sooner, but now I'm doing it. Now I'm being more productive with putting books out there. The next thing I wish I knew is that you got to be marketing all the time, okay? No one's going to do your marketing for you. No one's coming to save you. No one is going to post ads for you. No one's going to do book promos for you. No one's going to make Instagram posts for you unless you hire an outside marketing firm. But if you're a brand new newbie indie author, I don't recommend that. You need to do that yourself. You need to be marketing your books all the time. You need to be marketing yourself as an author all the time. Social media, YouTube, like I'm doing, engaging with readers, engaging with potential readers, just engaging with the book community. You need to be putting yourself out there all the time. You need to be contributing, adding value, helping out when you can. And, I didn't know that at first. I thought, I launched my book. If I launched my book on Amazon KDP, the flood of readers would just come automatically, and that's not the case. Okay? Amazon is just a platform. They're not really going to market your book for you unless you buy ads, or you set your do a free book promo, KDP countdown deal, or set your book as free for a limited amount of time. But still, you need to put yourself out there. You need to be marketing your books, and you need to be marketing yourself all the time, okay, even when you're not launching a book. The next thing I wish I knew, and this is very important, especially if you're writing fiction, I wish I knew that you need to write in a series if you want to see a profit, okay? One book is not going to do. You're not going to make any money in fiction if you write one book, a solo standalone book. You need to write in a trilogy or even more books than that. I've seen authors have series 10 to 20 books long. I mean, I write in trilogies currently. I'm going to up the count in my next series to 5 books in my next series. And hopefully I'm going to push it up to 10 when I feel more comfortable. But for you to see money, for you to make money in this, and for you to see any sort of profit, you have to write in a series. And that's if you're doing fiction. If you're doing nonfiction, I'm sure one book will do. But, you got to write in a series if you're doing fiction. Okay, because if people buy the first book, that's the entry point to the series, okay? If they buy the first book, that's going to be the entry point to your series. And if they like your first book, they're going to buy the second book in the series, the third book, fourth, fifth. You get the idea, okay? And if you only write a standalone book, you're not going to see any money. So just make sure you write in a series if you're doing fiction. Write more than one book. Do a trilogy, 4 or 5 books, as many books as you can, as many books as you want. Just don't do a standalone book. The next thing I wish I knew before I started self-publishing is you need to make sure your book is edited, okay? Either you need a hire editor, or get an editing program like Grammarly or Pro Writing Aid to do it for you, okay? Pro Writing Aid and Grammarly is not going to be as good as a real editor, but it will get you about 80 to 90% of the way there. But it's probably best to hire an editor. But if you don't edit your book before you launch it, people are going to tear your book apart. They're going to tear your book apart, give you really bad ratings, and you know it's not going to be good. You're not going to like it, and it's going to make you reevaluate some things. Okay, editing is very, very important. You know how it's important to write the story. Well, editing is just as important as that. Getting your book edited is just as important as writing the story. So don't ever release a book unedited. Make sure somebody goes over with a fine-tooth comb so they can find errors, mistakes, help you tighten up things, and you know, so you have a quality product to put out there. The last thing I wish I knew is that writing and self-publishing is a lifetime experience, okay? You are never going to learn everything after you write your first book or self-publish your first book. You're going to learn something new every time you publish a book. You're going to learn how to do things differently. You're going to learn what the readers like and don't like. You're going to learn how to fine-tune your book. And, you know, this is a lifelong game. This is a long game. This is a marathon, not a sprint. You're going to learn every day. You're going to learn something new all the time. You need to keep learning. You need to buy craft books, watch YouTube videos like this. You need to learn from different authors, different success authors, how to become a better author, become a better writer. And you just need to keep learning every day, all day. This is not a one and done thing. This is not a one trick pony career or hobby or whatever you want to call it. For me, I'm trying to make this into a full-time career. But you need to keep learning. You need to keep honing your craft, honing your skills. You know, maybe take a few writing courses from established authors, and you need to keep at it. You need to keep at it and don't give up. Okay, just keep writing, keep getting better, keep learning from your mistakes, fix those mistakes, work on your craft, and just understand this is a long game, not a short game. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you guys learned something or two. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm glad I'm back on YouTube to launch these videos, and so you guys can, you know, learn something or two. Let me know what you think. Comment below. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Take care.